Let me ask you something personal. Have you ever looked at your paycheck, your debt, your savings account, and thought, this can't be all there is to life? If you're in your 40s or 50s, still working hard, still living paycheck to paycheck, and still wondering why you can't seem to get ahead, it's not because you're lazy. It's because no one ever taught you the rules of the game. Today marks the beginning of a new chapter. Not a fantasy, not a get-rich-quick scheme, but a blueprint, a clear roadmap to financial independence, even if you're starting late. So, let's rewrite your money story, one smart decision at a time. The problem nobody talks about. Here's the hard truth. We've all been programmed, from childhood, to be workers, not wealth builders. Go to school, get good grades, get a job, work for 40 years, retire at 65, maybe. But nobody teaches us how money actually works, why debt chains you down, why your 9-to-5 might never make you wealthy, why taxes and inflation silently steal your future. And worst of all, they don't teach you that freedom isn't about how much you earn. It's about how much control you have over your time and your choices. A new definition of wealth. Let's redefine wealth. It's not about $1 million home or a flashy car. Real wealth is simple. Freedom of time, plus peace of mind, plus enough income to live life on your terms. That's it. And here's the good news. You don't need to be born rich. You don't need a PhD in finance. You just need a roadmap and the will to start walking. 3 stages to financial freedom. We're going to walk you through a 3-stage journey. Control. Get a grip on your spending, debt, and income. Build. Set up systems to grow your wealth. Multiply. Learn how to make money work for you. This course isn't theory. It's real, practical, step by step. And we start with stage 1, control. Where your money really goes. Do you know where every dollar of yours goes? Most people don't. They sort of know they spend too much on takeout or subscriptions, but they're not sure how it adds up. Let's break it down. You earn $5,000 a month, but $1,800 goes to rent or mortgage, $600 on food and groceries, $400 on car, and transport $300 on subscriptions, bills, random shopping, $900 on credit card payments or loans. $1,000 just disappears. Sound familiar? The first step to freedom is awareness. Start tracking your spending. Every dollar, every category. Not to shame yourself, but to wake yourself up. Debt. The silent prison. Debt is the biggest trap of the middle class. It promises comfort today and robs you of freedom tomorrow. That car loan, those credit cards, that buy now, pay later plan, they're not tools, they're chains. What's worse? Interest. You borrow $10K, pay back $16K. That extra $6,000 is years of your future. Gone. The solution isn't just pay off debt. It's to stop using debt as a lifestyle. The first 3 habits that change everything. Want to start winning with money? Adopt these 3 habits immediately. Track every dollar. Use an app, spreadsheet, or notebook. Know where your money goes. No excuses. Delay gratification. Freedom. Feeling good today. Wait before you buy. Ask, do I need this or just want it? Automate your saving. Even if it's just $50 a month. Set it and forget it. Build the muscle. Why most budgets fail. Let's be real. Budgeting sucks when it feels like punishment. That's why most people quit after 2 weeks. Here's a better way. Budget for freedom, not for deprivation. Instead of cutting out coffee, ask, what would I rather gain than this latte? Would I trade 10 coffees for 1 weekend of peace? Would I trade new shoes for 1 less credit card bill? When your budget aligns with your values, It becomes empowering, not restricting. Your next step. By the end of this section, you're not going to be rich, but you're going to be awake. That's worth more than any dollar amount. So, tonight, sit down. Write out your income. List your expenses. Find the leaks. Cut one thing you don't need. Start tracking. This is your first step out of financial survival mode and into financial strategy. You're not behind. You're just getting started. Let's build your freedom, one choice at a time. So now you've seen the big picture. You know what financial freedom looks like and why it matters more than ever. But awareness isn't enough. You need a system to manage the money you already have. Let's begin where most people fail. Budgeting, done right. Debt doesn't just drain your bank account. It steals your sleep. It silences your dreams. And it keeps you stuck in a life you didn't choose. If you're over 40 and drowning in credit cards, loans, or student debt, it's time to stop blaming yourself and start learning the truth. Because the system is designed to keep you trapped. But once you understand how it works, you can break out and never go back. How the debt system works and why it's rigged. Most of us were handed credit before we understood money. Banks give you a credit card at 18. You use it. You make the minimum payment. Then interest compounds. Suddenly, your $500 purchase becomes $850. Then $100. And it doesn't stop there. Add in student loans, auto loans, medical bills, and maybe even payday loans. And you're looking at a life where most of your money is already spoken for before payday arrives. The truth? The debt system wasn't built to help you. It was built to profit from you. Every interest payment you make is someone else's passive income. Why paying minimums is a trap. Let's get specific. You owe $8,000 on a credit card. The interest rate is 21%. If you only pay the minimum, $160 a month, it will take over 30 years to pay it off, and you'll end up paying more than double what you borrowed. Let that sink in. You could have used that money to invest, to travel, to retire early. But instead, you're working extra hours to feed a bank's bottom line. Paying the minimum isn't managing your debt. It's slowly bleeding yourself dry. How to stop digging the hole deeper. Step 1. Stop borrowing more. Yes, that means cutting up your credit cards if you must. Freeze them. Lock them in a drawer. Take them out of your wallet. Debt freedom doesn't start with paying off what you owe. It starts with refusing to add more. If you keep borrowing while trying to pay off debt, it's like trying to drain a bathtub with the faucet still running. Debt. Snowball versus debt avalanche. Which is right for you? Let's talk strategy. There are two proven methods for paying off debt faster. 1. Debt snowball. List your debts from smallest to largest, regardless of interest rate. Pay minimums on all except the smallest. Attack the smallest with every extra dollar. Once it's gone, roll that payment into the next debt. Why it works. You get quick wins, and quick wins build momentum. 2. Debt avalanche. List debts by interest rate, highest to lowest. Pay minimums on all except the highest interest debt. Focus all extra money there first. Why it works. You save more in the long run. Which one should you pick? Whichever one you'll actually stick to. The best system is the one that keeps you moving. Side hustles. The fastest way to attack debt. Want to pay off debt faster? Earn more. Cutting expenses is helpful, but there's only so much you can trim. Income, on the other hand, is unlimited. Here are 5 high-leverage side hustles for midlife professionals. Freelance skills, writing, design, consulting. Sell unused items online. Teach or tutor online. Drive or deliver part-time. Start a service-based business, cleaning, organizing, pet care. Take 100% of that income and throw it at your debt. You'll see results 3 to 5x faster. The Debt-Free Countdown Plan. Here's a sample 12-month debt freedom plan. Month 1-2. Track all debt. Choose snowball or avalanche. Cut one unnecessary expense. Start small side hustle. Month 3 to 6. Throw all extra income at top priority debt. Celebrate small wins. Reinvest side hustle income into faster payoff. Month 7 to 12. Pay off 1 to 3 debts completely. Build momentum. Reduce financial stress noticeably. It's not magic. It's math plus mindset. How to stay motivated during the payoff journey. Debt repayment is boring. Let's be honest. But every dollar you pay down is a dollar that will never charge you interest again. It's freedom, paid forward. 3 ways to stay committed. Print out a debt tracker and color it in every month. Share your journey with someone or a community. Visualize what freedom will feel like. Vacations, sleep, peace, options. Closing message. Listen, you're not in debt because you failed. You're in debt because the system failed you. But now you see the matrix. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. Debt is not your identity. It's just a chapter. And you're the one holding the pen. This week, take one bold step. Cancel one card. Make one extra payment. Start one side hustle. That's how freedom begins. Let's turn your someday into starting now. You now have a budget that works with you, not against you. But managing what you have is only half the equation. The next step? Learning how to build wealth from scratch, even if you're starting late. What if I told you it's not too late? Even if you're in your 40s or 50s, even if you've made financial mistakes, even if you're starting from zero. The truth is, building wealth doesn't require luck, a huge salary, or perfect timing. It requires systems, habits, and a new way of thinking. And that's exactly what we're diving into in this episode. How to build real wealth from scratch, even if you feel like you're behind. Let's go. The 3 foundations of wealth. Before we talk about investing or passive income, let's lay the foundation. There are 3 pillars every wealth plan must stand on. A budget that works, not one that feels like punishment. A real, functional spending plan that aligns with your goals. Emergency savings. At least 1 to 3 months of expenses to protect your progress. Consistent surplus. A gap between what you earn and what you spend. That gap? That's your wealth builder. No surplus? No wealth. It's that simple. The pay yourself first strategy. Here's a mindset shift that changed everything. Stop saving what's left after spending. Start spending what's left after saving. The moment your paycheck hits, automate a transfer to your savings or investment account, even if it's just $50. Make it invisible. Make it consistent. You're paying yourself first, before you pay bills, before you pay debt, before you touch Amazon. This one habit separates people who stay broke from people who build wealth. Where to put your money first. Once you've got your emergency fund started, what should you do with your surplus? Follow this simple priority stack. High-interest debt. Pay it down aggressively. Emergency savings. Build it to 3 to 6 months. Employer retirement match. Always take the free money. Roth IRA or 401k. Tax-advantaged growth. Taxable brokerage account. For long-term investing. Real estate or business. Once the basics are solid, you don't have to master everything overnight. Just take the next step up the stack. Compound interest, the 8th wonder of the world. Albert Einstein called it the 8th wonder of the world for a reason. Here's the magic. Let's say you invest $500 a month starting at age 45. By 65, with just a 7% return, you'll have nearly $250,000. Double that to $1,000 a month, you're close to $500,000. And no, you don't need to be a Wall Street expert. You just need to stay consistent, stay invested, and stop pulling your money out every time the market wobbles. Time in the market beats timing the market. Boring is beautiful when it comes to building wealth. The 3-bucket system. Here's a framework to organize your money as it grows. 1. Short-term bucket cash for emergencies and planned spending, 0 to 2 years. Savings accounts, money market, cash envelopes. 2. Mid-term bucket goals in the next 2 to 5 years, buying a car, down payment, wedding. CDs, conservative ETFs, high-yield savings. 3. Long-term bucket wealth-building investments, 5+ years. Index funds, 401k, IRA, real estate. This system gives you security, flexibility, and growth. Balancing security versus growth. The older we get, the more we lean towards safety, and that's understandable. But don't let fear rob you of opportunity. Yes, you need emergency cash. Yes, you need insurance. But you also need assets that grow. Inflation is a silent thief. Your savings account is not a wealth-building tool. Balance is key. Protect what you have. Grow what you want. Mindset shift. From consumer to owner. This is the turning point. Most people spend their lives as consumers, paying for everything, owning nothing. But wealthy people, they think like owners. They own stocks, real estate, businesses, intellectual property. Start asking yourself, am I consuming or am I owning? Even if you start small, a single ETF, a low-cost index fund, you've made the mental shift, and that's the seed of wealth. Your action plan this week. By now, you're ready to stop drifting and start building. Here's your 5-step checklist for this week. Open a high-yield savings account. Set up automatic transfers on payday. Choose one low-cost index fund and invest $50. Cancel one recurring expense and redirect it to savings. Write down your freedom number. How much monthly income would make you feel free? Start small. Grow strong. You don't have to catch up. You just have to start moving forward. You've built your foundation and started saving consistently. But here's the secret to acceleration. Cash flow. In this next chapter, we'll unlock how ordinary people use cash flow to create extraordinary financial results. If you feel like you're working hard but never getting ahead, here's the truth. You don't have an income problem. You have a cash flow problem. In this episode, we're going to unpack the engine of financial freedom, cash flow, and show you exactly how ordinary people turn modest incomes into long-term wealth. Because when you understand how to manage cash flow, you stop working for money, and money starts working for you. What is cash flow and why it's everything? Cash flow is simple. Money in, money out equals what's left over. But most people never take it seriously. They focus on income or expenses, but never both at the same time. You can make $200K a year and still be broke if your expenses are $210K, and you can make $50K a year and slowly build wealth if your cash flow is positive. Positive cash flow equals options. Negative cash flow equals pressure. That's why it matters. Tracking your cash flow. A 3-step system. Ready to take control? Here's the framework. 1. Capture inflows. Salary. Side hustles. Investment returns. Rental income. 2. Capture outflows. Fixed. Rent. Bills. Insurance. Variable. Food. Fun. Impulse buys. Irregular. Holidays. Repairs. Gifts. 3. Calculate surplus or deficit. Income. Expenses equals net cash flow. If you're in the negative, don't panic. It just means you need to either earn more, spend less, or both. Cash flow patterns of the poor, middle class, and rich. Let's visualize it. Poor. Earn money, spend it, repeat. No savings, no investing. Always in survival mode. Middle class. Earn more, increase lifestyle, take on debt. Bigger house, newer car, more stuff. Always chasing income, wealthy. Earn income. Buy assets. Assets generate more income. Use cash flow to grow freedom. Focus on net worth, not status. The key difference? The wealthy use money to buy freedom. The middle class uses money to look successful. How to increase your cash flow right now. Want to boost your monthly surplus fast? 1. Audit recurring expenses. Cut subscriptions, renegotiate bills, cancel unused services. 2. Lower variable spending groceries, dining out, impulse Amazon buys, track and reduce by 10 to 20%. 3. Increase income. Ask for a raise, freelance, consult, sell things, monetize skills. 4. Reduce taxes. Maximize retirement contributions. Use HSA, FSA, track deductions. A $200 month cash flow increase adds up to $2,400 a year. That's investing fuel. Cash flow vs net worth. Some people ask, should I focus on cash flow or net worth? Answer, both, but cash flow first. Net worth is the scorecard. Cash flow is the fuel that moves the game forward. You can't grow net worth without cash to invest, and you can't invest without creating surplus. Focus on generating monthly cash flow, and then deploy that money to increase your long-term net worth. Cash flow. Stacking. Level up systematically. Once you build positive cash flow, don't stop. Stack it. Multiply it. Move up levels like a game. Level 1. Get to $100 month surplus, track and cut. Start a side gig. Level 2. Hit $500 month surplus. Pay down debt. Build emergency fund. Level 3. Hit $1,000 month surplus. Invest consistently. Sleep better. Level 4. 2,000 plus month surplus. Start acquiring assets. Buy freedom. Every level buys back time, peace, and opportunity. The secret to long-term cash. Flow. Automation. Want to know what wealthy people automate? Savings transfers. Every payday, bill payments. No late fees. Investments. Every month, no guesswork. Debt payoffs. Consistent progress. Automation removes willpower from the equation, and that makes wealth building inevitable. Your next move. This week, do a cash flow audit. List all income sources. List every expense, yes, all of them. Calculate your current monthly cash flow. Pick one area to improve, reduce, or grow. If you're in the red, don't panic. If you're in the black, optimize. Small cash flow wins, compounded over time, create massive change. This is how ordinary people create extraordinary financial results. One decision at a time. With your cash flow in place, you now have fuel to grow. But where do you put that money? How do you make it multiply without betting the farm? The answer is in smart investing, and it's simpler than you think. Let's face it, investing can feel intimidating. You hear words like dividends, capital gains, ETFs, and volatility, and you wonder, am I too late, too old, not smart enough to figure this out? Let's clear this up once and for all. Investing isn't just for the rich, it's for the ready. In this episode, you'll learn a simple, no BS framework for investing. One that works whether you're 25 or 55, with $100 or $100,000. No hype, no get rich quick, just real wealth building that works. The mindset shift, from spender to investor. Before you buy your first stock or open a retirement account, you have to shift mentally. Consumers lose, owners win. When you buy a phone, you're a consumer. When you buy Apple stock, you're an owner. One makes you broke, one makes you wealthy. Investing is how you buy back your future. It's how you make money work for you, even while you sleep. How the stock market really works. The stock market is simply a place where people buy and sell tiny ownership pieces of companies, called shares. When you own a share of a company, you get a piece of the profits, dividends, the value growth, stock price increases. That's it. Yes, prices go up and down daily, but over time, the stock market grows. Historically, it returns 7 to 10% annually, on average. Don't fear the dips. Use them to buy the sale. The 3 investment accounts you need. Here's your starting lineup for building wealth. 1. Employer-sponsored retirement plan, 401k, 403b. Pre-tax contributions. Itsuguls reduce your taxable income. Many employers offer a match, free money. Take it. 2. Roth IRA. You pay taxes now, but withdraw tax-free later. Great for long-term, tax-free growth. 3. Brokerage account. No contribution limits. Perfect for extra investing once tax-advantaged accounts are maxed out. Pick one. Open it this week. What to invest in? Keep it simple. Forget hot stocks. Forget crypto fads. Here's what works. Index funds equals a basket of stocks that follow the whole market. Most people fail at investing because they chase shiny objects. But guess what? 90% of professional investors don't even beat the market. That's why legendary investors like Warren Buffett recommend low-cost index funds like S&P 500 Index Fund, Total Market Index Fund. And yes, these are beginner-friendly. Build a simple portfolio that actually works. Here's a no-stress investment portfolio. 80% Total Market Index Fund, 20% International Index Fund. Want to reduce volatility even more? Add 10 to 20% bonds or REITs for stability. Bonus, use target date funds. If you want a one-stop, set it and forget it option based on your retirement year, keep it simple. Stay consistent. Simplicity beats complexity, especially over time. What to do when the market drops? Here's a truth bomb. The market will crash. Multiple times. And that's normal. In fact, the market has dropped by 10% or more every 2 years on average. Here's what wealthy investors do. Don't panic sell. Keep contributing. Buy more when it's down. Why? Because every dip is a discount on long-term wealth. You only lose if you sell. Rules of smart investors. Let's recap 6 golden rules. Invest automatically every month. Don't try to time the market. Keep fees under 0.2%. Ignore media hype. Focus on decades, not days. Review your plan once per year, not every week. These habits turn you from a nervous beginner into a confident wealth builder. Action plan. Get started today. Here's your move for the week. Open one investment account, Roth IRA or brokerage. Set up automatic deposits, $50, $200 month. Choose one index fund, S&P 500 Total Market. Ignore the noise. Stay the course. Schedule a review date once a year, then leave it alone. Don't wait for the perfect time. That time is now. Your future self will thank you. Investing helps your money grow, but growth alone isn't enough. Because one unexpected event, one accident or crisis, can wipe out everything you've built. So before we go further, let's talk about how to protect your wealth. You've been working hard to build your financial foundation. You've started saving, investing, budgeting, and even paying off debt. But here's a hard truth most people overlook. If you don't protect what you've built, it can disappear. Fast. One unexpected event, one health emergency, one accident or job loss, and suddenly, all your progress is gone. That's why protection isn't optional. It's the shield around your freedom. Let's talk about how to actually build that shield. through emergency planning, insurance, and a smart strategy to guard against life's curveballs. Why most people avoid this, and why it costs them. Most people don't like talking about worst-case scenarios. It feels uncomfortable, morbid even. But ignoring risk doesn't make it go away. It just makes you more vulnerable when it shows up. And it will show up. It could be a car accident, a broken furnace, a health diagnosis, a layoff, or even something more serious. When you have no plan in place, these events can quickly spiral into financial disasters. But when you prepare ahead of time, they become manageable bumps instead of massive breakdowns. So let's walk through the essentials, plain and simple. First, build an emergency fund. Your emergency fund is your first line of defense. It's the cash buffer that protects you from slipping into debt when life gets messy. If you're just getting started, your first goal is to save $1,000. That's your starter emergency fund. It's not everything, but it's enough to stop a small problem from becoming a big crisis. Eventually, you want to build this up to 3 to 6 months of your essential living expenses. This gives you breathing room if you lose a job, face a big medical bill, or need to take care of a family emergency. This money should be kept somewhere safe and accessible, like a high-yield savings account. You don't want it tied up in stocks or complicated accounts. You want to be able to access it immediately, without penalties or delays. Think of this fund as financial oxygen. You hope you don't need it, but if you ever do, you'll be so glad it's there. Second, protect your income with the right insurance. You work hard for your income. So, what happens if that income suddenly stops? This is where insurance comes in, not as a luxury, but as a safety net. Let's start with the essentials. Health insurance is non-negotiable. A single visit to the emergency room or a short hospital stay could cost you thousands, or even tens of thousands of dollars. You must have at least basic coverage to protect yourself from medical bankruptcy. If you drive, you also need auto insurance. Not just because it's required by law, but because accidents happen. Make sure your policy covers more than just the minimum, especially when it comes to liability. If you have children or a spouse who depends on your income, you need term life insurance. This isn't about leaving a fortune. It's about making sure your family isn't financially devastated if something happens to you. And term life is surprisingly affordable, especially if you get it earlier in life. Now let's talk about something that most people ignore: disability insurance. This protects your paycheck if you become too sick or injured to work. If you couldn't earn income for 6 months or longer, what would happen? Disability insurance answers that question before it becomes a crisis. Then there's homeowners or renters insurance, which covers your possessions and protects you from liability if someone gets hurt on your property. Even if you rent, this type of coverage can be critical. Now, do you need every kind of insurance under the sun? No. You don't need to insure your phone, your toaster, or your gym bag. Focus on the big stuff, the things that would financially crush you if they went wrong. Third, legal protection. Most people forget. You don't need to be rich to need a will. Every adult should have a basic plan in place for what happens if they pass away unexpectedly. A will makes sure your money and your possessions go where you want them to, not where the government decides. Also, consider assigning a financial power of attorney, someone who can make decisions on your behalf if you're ever unable to. This gives you peace of mind and protects your family from unnecessary legal stress. These documents aren't just for the elderly. They're for anyone who wants to take responsibility for their life. Fourth, anticipate the inevitable. Let's be honest, no one likes thinking about worst-case scenarios, but you don't prepare for bad things because you expect them. You prepare because it makes you strong, resilient, and unshakable when they come. Inflation will keep rising. Market crashes will happen. Accidents will occur. People will pass. These aren't dark thoughts. They're realities. So prepare now, while you're calm and clear-headed. so that when the storm comes, you're already covered. Final thoughts. Protection isn't about fear. It's about freedom. It's the freedom to invest with confidence, to sleep at night, and to take risks in life, because you know your foundation is solid. If you've made progress with your money, don't stop at growth. Secure what you've built, because financial freedom isn't just about how much you make. It's also about how much you keep and how well you protect it. Now that you've built a financial safety net, it's time to look ahead. What does life look like when you're no longer working for money, but letting your money work for you? That's what we'll explore in this next chapter. Retirement. On time or even early. What's your plan for retirement? No, not the dream. The actual plan. The one with real numbers, real dates, and real income streams. Most people don't have one. They're just hoping everything works out by 65. Hope is not a strategy, and depending on Social Security alone is a recipe for stress. In this episode, we'll break down exactly how to plan your retirement, even if you're starting late. You'll learn how much you really need, how to get there, and how to make sure you never outlive your money. Retirement isn't an age. It's a number. Forget the old idea of retiring at 65 just because. Retirement doesn't happen when you hit a birthday. It happens when your income from assets covers your expenses. That's called financial independence. So the real question isn't, when can I retire? It's, when will I have enough income from my money to stop working if I want to? That's a goal worth building toward. How much do you really need to retire? Here's a simple rule to estimate. Annual expenses, x25 equals retirement number. If you want to spend $60,000 a year in retirement, $60,000 kilos 25 equals $1.5 million. Why 25? It's based on the 4% rule. You can safely withdraw 4% of your invested assets per year without running out of money. It's not perfect, but it's a powerful target. Sources of retirement income. Don't want to rely on just one source? Smart. Here's a breakdown of what your retirement income might include. 401k or 403b, employer-sponsored retirement plan, IRA or Roth IRA, tax-advantaged individual accounts, brokerage accounts, after-tax investments, Social Security, helpful but not guaranteed to cover everything, real estate cash flow, rental income, side businesses or part-time work, optional but powerful pensions, less common but valuable if you have one. The more income streams you build now, the more freedom you'll have later. Building a retirement plan in your 40s or 50s. Think you're behind? Let's reframe that. You might not have started early, but you still have time to act intentionally. Here's how. Step 1. Know your freedom number. Calculate your monthly living expenses. Multiply by 12, multiply by 25. That's your target net worth. Goal. Step 2. Max out retirement accounts. In 2025, 401k contribution limit equal $23,000, plus $7,500 catch-up if over 50. IRA Roth IRA equal $7,000, plus $1,000 catch-up. Step 3. Increase income and save more. Don't just cut, grow your income. Every extra dollar invested shortens your working years. Step 4. Run projections. Use free retirement calculators, e.g., NerdWallet, Vanguard. Test different retirement ages, saving rates, and returns. Retirement strategy for different stages. In your 30s, 40s, focus on building assets. Take more growth risk. Stocks, bonds. Automate contributions. In your 50s, catch-up contributions. Shift 10 to 20% into conservative investments. Recheck your plan yearly. In your 60s, finalize withdrawal plan. Know your Social Security. Start date. Reduce risk in portfolio. protect principal. The retirement threats to watch for. Even a solid retirement plan can fail if you ignore these. Inflation. Your money must grow faster than inflation. Market crashes. Don't panic sell. Diversify and have a cash buffer. Healthcare costs. Start planning now. Medicare doesn't cover everything. Lifestyle creep. Don't let increased income equal increased spending. Outliving your money. Use the 4% rule, but build in flexibility and backup income. Retirement doesn't have to be all or nothing. There's a myth that retirement means you stop working completely, but many people choose to. Work part-time doing what they love. Start a small business. Volunteer while living off their savings. Take mini retirements earlier in life. Retirement isn't the finish line. It's the beginning of your freedom years. Action plan this week. Let's build your retirement blueprint. Write down your freedom number, open or review your IRA and 401k. Increase your contributions by 1 to 2%. Set up a calendar reminder to review annually. Start envisioning your dream retirement, on your terms. Start now. Start small. But start with purpose, because the day you stop needing to work is the day you take your power back. Retirement planning is powerful, but what if you want to speed up the process or build in more freedom along the way? That's where side hustles and passive income come in. Let's unlock the income streams that work while you sleep. What if you could earn an extra $500, $1,000, even $3,000 a month without getting a second job? Sound too good to be true? It's not, because you already have what it takes. You just need a strategy. In this episode, we're unlocking real-world side hustles and passive income ideas that everyday people use to create freedom, flexibility, and extra cash without burning out. This isn't about working more hours. It's about working smarter and building income streams that don't depend on your full-time job. Why one income stream is no longer enough. Relying on just your 9-to-5 paycheck in today's economy? That's risky, because layoffs happen. Companies change direction. Health issues can interrupt your work. Inflation eats into your paycheck every year. But an extra income stream? That's your financial seatbelt. Side income gives you options. Pay off debt faster. Save more. Invest more. Quit the job you hate. Retire early. Side hustle versus passive income. Know the difference. Let's define them. Side hustle equals you trade time for extra money. Freelancing, tutoring, delivery, etc. Passive income equals you build something once that pays you over time. Investments, courses, rentals, content. Start with a hustle. Turn it into passive. That's the flow. Best side hustles for midlife professionals. You don't need to start a TikTok account or drive Uber unless you want to. Here are practical ideas for people with experience. 1. Freelancing your skills. Writing, editing, design, consulting, bookkeeping platforms. Upwork, Fiverr, LinkedIn. 2. Teaching or coaching. Start a tutoring service. Offer resume help. Coach small business owners. Use Zoom plus Calendly. 3. Selling digital products. Create templates, guides, or spreadsheets. Sell on Etsy, Gumroad, or your own site. 4. Flipping items online. Thrift, clean up, and resell on eBay, Facebook Marketplace. 5. Pet sitting, house sitting, childcare. Local apps or word of mouth. Low barrier, flexible hours. You already have a skill people will pay for. You just haven't monetized it yet. Passive income ideas that actually work. These take time up front, but pay you over time. 1. Dividend-paying stocks. Invest in companies that send you a portion of profits. Reinvest until income grows. 2. Rental properties. House hack, short-term rentals, or traditional units. Requires management but can scale. 3. Create an online course. Teach what you know. Platforms. Teachable. Thinkific. 4. Write an ebook or audio guide. Self-publish on Amazon, KDP or Audible. 5. YouTube or podcasting. Monetize with ads, sponsorships, or affiliate links. Yes, it takes effort, but it works, especially when you're consistent. The 3-income stream rule. Most self-made millionaires follow this rule. Build 3 or more income streams, ideally a mix of active and passive. For example, 9-to-5 income. Real estate cash flow, online business, stock dividends. You don't need them all at once, but you do need to start building now, because income diversification is wealth protection. Time versus money. Pick your strategy. Ask yourself, do you have more time or more money? More time? Start a service hustle. More money? Build a passive system. What do you enjoy doing anyway? Turn it into an offer. What skills do people always ask you about? Package that as a product or service. The best side hustle is one that fits your lifestyle, not burns you out. How to automate your side. Income success. A side hustle shouldn't become a second job you hate. Here's how to keep it smart and sustainable. Automate your workflow. Use tools like Calendly, Stripe, Zapier. Batch your time. Work 2-3 focused hours per week, not scattered minutes. Outsource repetitive tasks. Use freelancers or AI tools to save time. Systematize delivery. Turn your process into a checklist or template. This is how you scale without breaking. This week's income action plan. It's time to start earning beyond your job. List 5 skills or hobbies you could monetize. Choose one to test as a side hustle. Set up a basic offer, description, plus price, plus platform. Commit to your first $100 in extra income. Reinvest the first dollars into growth or debt payoff. You don't have to build a 6-figure business overnight. You just need to take the first step. The goal is freedom. The side hustle is the vehicle. Let's roll. You've learned how to earn, save, invest, and grow. But if your mindset is still wired for scarcity, fear, or limitation, none of it will stick. Let's take a powerful pause to rewire how you think about money and self-worth. You can have the best budget, the smartest investment plan, the perfect income strategy, but if your mindset is stuck in scarcity, none of it will last. Your beliefs about money will either build your wealth or block it. In this episode, we're not just talking dollars and cents, we're diving deep into the beliefs, habits, and patterns that shape your financial reality. Because money isn't just math, it's emotion, it's identity. And when you change the way you think, you change what's possible. The money story you've been carrying. Everyone has a money story. Maybe you grew up hearing, money doesn't grow on trees. Rich people are greedy. We can't afford that. You have to work hard for every dollar. These phrases sound harmless, but they shape your subconscious. And over time, they turn into beliefs like, I'll never be wealthy. I'm just bad with money. I'm always broke. Your current bank account often reflects your past programming, not your potential. Scarcity versus abundance mindset. Let's contrast 2 powerful forces. Scarcity mindset. There's never enough. I have to hoard what I have. If they win, I lose. Abundance mindset. There's more where that came from. Money flows in and out. Helping others helps me too. Which one do you think leads to freedom? Wealth isn't just about money. It's about expansion. 7. Mindset shifts that transform your finances. Let's get tactical. 1. From budgeting equal restriction. Budgeting equals power. A budget isn't a cage, it's a compass. 2. From I can't afford that. How can I afford that? This simple shift opens the door to possibility. 3. From consumer. Owner. Stop buying things that lose value. Start buying assets. 4. From spending to impress. Spending to empower. Choose purchases that support you, not your image. 5. From fear of investing. Confidence in growth. Every dollar you invest is a seed for future freedom. 6. From I'm bad with money. I'm learning every day. Nobody's born financially literate. It's a skill, just like driving. 7. From envy. Inspiration. Use success stories as fuel, not comparison. Change your mindset. Change your outcomes. Common mental blocks, and how to break them. Ever said any of these? I'm too old to start now. I make too little to save anything. I always mess up with money. I'll be fine if I just ignore it. These are mental traps, and the longer you believe them, the more real they feel. Your brain loves to prove your beliefs true, so choose better beliefs. Here's what to do. Write down your top 3 limiting beliefs about money. Rewrite each one with an empowering statement. Repeat them daily until they become your new normal. Money self-talk matters. The most important financial conversation you'll ever have is the one in your head. So be intentional with your inner voice. Replace I'm broke with I'm building. Replace this is too hard with this is new. Replace I'm behind with I'm starting now. Words have weight, and the way you talk about money becomes the way you handle it. Building a new money identity. Want to become someone who builds wealth? Then act like it now, before the money comes. Identity drives behavior. Behavior builds results. Tell yourself, I am someone who tracks my money. I am someone who invests regularly. I am someone who talks about money with confidence. It might feel fake at first. That's okay. New identities feel weird until they feel true. Action plan. Rewire for wealth. This week is about mindset transformation. Identify your old money story. Journal 3. Beliefs you want to let go of. Create 3 new money affirmations. Say them aloud every day for 7 days. Surround yourself with wealth-minded people, podcasts, videos, books, because financial freedom starts between your ears, long before it shows up in your bank account. You've come a long way from shifting your mindset to mastering your money. Now, it's time to tie it all together into a complete, repeatable blueprint. Your personal roadmap to lifelong financial freedom. You've made it. You've learned how to budget, save, invest, build income, pay off debt, protect your assets, and master your mindset. But knowledge without action is just information. This final episode is about integration, taking everything you've learned and turning it into a step-by-step life plan. Because real freedom doesn't happen by accident, it happens by design. The Financial Freedom Blueprint. Here's your roadmap. 10 pillars, 1 clear path. 1. Mindset shift from scarcity to abundance. Use identity-based affirmations daily. 2. Tracking. Know every dollar, what comes in, what goes out. Use apps or spreadsheets weekly. 3. Budgeting. Create a values-based budget. Pay yourself first. Automate it. 4. Debt. Elimination. Choose snowball or avalanche. Stop adding new debt. Use side income to accelerate payoff. 5. Emergency fund. Build $1,000 starter. Grow to 3 to 6 months. Store in high-yield savings. 6. Insurance and protection. Health, auto, term life, disability. Create a will. Update beneficiaries. 7. Investing. Roth IRA, 401k, index funds. Automate contributions. Stay long-term, avoid panic. 8. Multiple income streams. Start with side hustles. Build toward passive income. Reinvest profits. 9. Retirement planning. Know your freedom number. Max out. Tax-advantaged accounts. Plan for inflation, plus longevity. 10. Regular reviews, monthly money check-ins, quarterly goal updates, yearly financial reset. This blueprint gives you clarity, control, and confidence. The 1% better rule. You don't need to change your entire life overnight. Just focus on getting 1% better each week. Spend 1% less. Save 1% more. Read one new chapter. Take one small action. Small steps, plus consistency. Exponential change. Freedom isn't a destination. It's a direction. A day in the life of financial freedom. Imagine this. You wake up not because of an alarm, but because you're rested. You work if you choose to, not because you have to. Your money is earning more than your job ever did. You travel, create, give back, on your terms. This isn't a dream. This is the outcome of consistent action, wise decisions, and a strong mindset over time. This is the life you're building, starting now. What to do when you fall off track. Life will happen. You'll overspend. You'll miss a payment. You'll get discouraged. Here's the rule. Restart, not regret. Don't beat yourself up. Don't quit. Don't wait for January. Just restart today. This is a lifelong journey. There's room for grace. Your financial freedom mantra. Write this down. Say it out loud. I am building a life of freedom, one decision at a time. I am worthy of wealth. I am capable of change. I am the CEO of my money. Own it. Believe it. Live it. Final action plan. Your next 90 days. Phase 1. Week 1 to 4. Track all spending. Build a simple budget. Make your first debt payment. Open a savings account. Set up an automatic transfer. Phase 2. Week 5-8. Open an investment account. Fund your emergency savings. Try a side hustle. Choose one book or podcast for financial growth. Phase 3. Week 9 to 12. Review insurance and update legal docs. Map out your retirement plan. Increase income stream or contribution by 1%. Celebrate small wins. You've got the tools. You've got the knowledge. Now it's about showing up, week after week. Your freedom is built in the ordinary moments, not the perfect ones. Final words. No matter where you're starting from, no matter how late you think you are, no matter what's happened in the past, you can still build wealth. You can still build peace. You can still build freedom. The best day to start was yesterday. The next best day is today. Let this be the day you took your life back. You've got this.